Good afternoon, students. So we have again joined for the second day, and today we are going to again discuss a new topic, okay, which is very important for us in our basic communications. And this is about telling more about ourselves. Yesterday we were introducing ourselves, and we were able to we were able to tell where we came from. We were able to greet. We were able to introduce others as well. Now, when we further go on this, okay, basic communications, what else could be done? Okay, so when we have to introduce ourselves, we have to tell where we come from, when we greet one another, and when we introduce someone else, okay, there lies a compulsion where we have to say more about other people. We need to describe people, okay. When we have to describe people, what happens is we usually describe people first by their appearance, okay, and the purpose of describing people is to tell to create an imagination, to others, and say if we have say to register something in their mind, okay, to say we describe, we say, and we register something in people's mind to imagine about the people whom we are talking about, okay. So when we are introducing our friends who was not there at present, okay, or when we are introducing a person to someone who was not there, we start with the description of appearance. We start to describe um, their what is it character, okay. We start to describe their qualities. We start to describe what are their likes and dislikes. When it comes to characters, when we have to describe about character, we can use few of the words, few of the description adjectives, okay. Like we can use the adjective good, we can use the adjective honest, we can use the adjective trustworthy, we can use the adjective active, we can use the adjective kind, and we can use the adjective patient, okay. When we use all these adjectives, we are using it in a positive way, okay. When a person is good, okay, why do we say good when we have to describe someone as good, okay. Like we say someone is good to tell that they do not prevent others from living happy, okay. They want others to be happy, they don't be a hindrance to others happiness, okay. We describe someone as honest when they are very truthful and sincere, and we describe someone as trustworthy when we are able to rely on them, when they are honest with us, when they are truthful with us, okay. And we can describe someone as active when they are very alert, lively, they are very energetic people, okay. They keep on doing things, okay. So that is the time when we say that someone is active. We can say that someone is kind when they don't harm others, and we can say they are patient when they are able to tolerate things, when they are able to tolerate people's behavior, right. uh, so these are the ways of describing people, and these same descriptions you can use for yourself also. When you have to tell more about yourself, you can say that you are good, you are honest, you are trustworthy, you are active, you are patient. Sometimes you can also say that you are talkative when you tend to talk a lot, okay. If you are a voracious person, I mean, if you are a verbose person, if you talk a lot, you can use the adjective talkative, right. Now, when the same when you have to describe places, Now, when you introduce yourself and you say that you are from India, you are from a particular place, and someone listening to you is a foreigner to that place, then we need to give a few description, few adjectives of description about the place. Okay, so we can call the city a big city. You come from a big city, you come from a large city, you come from a small town. You can speak about the population of the town, right? All these things you can do. And when you speak about the population, you can say it is densely populated, it is scarcely populated. Okay, as you see, I think I am presenting to you. Okay, see, you will be able to see the picture. You can say that the city is densely populated, it is scarcely populated, right? And you can say that you live in a small house. You can say that you live in a large house in that particular place. Okay, and all these things you can say to describe places, right? See, I have prepared a description of weather. Sometimes it is necessary when you initiate a conversation. The Europeans initiate a conversation by describing the weather. Okay, it is a nice way, it is a general way to start a conversation rather than starting a conversation by what to say, by starting to speak about politics, cinema, or else some negative things. Okay, some agitation which is going on in the society. Instead of doing all those things, we can very well start describing the weather. That is a very nice way of starting a conversation. We can say that the weather is good, it is fine, it is mild, it is pleasant. Okay, and if at all you feel that the weather is not good, you can say that the weather is bad, it is unpleasant, it is dull. And if you feel hot, okay, the weather which we experience in our city, you can say it is sunny, warm, hot. And sometimes if you are in a European country or else in the northern part of our country, you can always say that it is very cold and freezing. Okay? And then a rainy, foggy, windy, stormy, and calm. When it is raining, you can say the weather is rainy. When it is foggy, funny. Okay, பனியா இருந்துச்சுன்னா you can say it is foggy, windy. ஆடி மாசத்துல நிறைய காத்தடிக்கும். That time you can say the weather is windy. When you speak to someone, you can say the weather is windy, I'm not able to listen to you. I'll go home and I'll go and call you. It is windy, so I'm not able to listen to you. It is stormy. We probably during storms we don't come out. Okay, so you can say there is a network issue when we speak on the phone. When we have to tell about the weather, we can say the weather is stormy. Okay, there is a network issue, so I'm not able to speak to you properly. So you can say it is stormy. You can also say that the weather is calm. Okay, if you are experiencing a pleasant weather and you feel that it is very calm, you can say, and you can say describe the sky as it is cloudy or else if it is clear. So all these ways you can describe the place which you live in. Okay, the place how it makes you feel. And that's a nice way of starting a conversation and describing and telling about things to people. Now, for example, here is a sentence which I have formed. Now, see, when I have to tell about myself and I have to tell from a place which I come from, I tell it like this way. I live in Trichy. It is a city. It has many schools, temples, and hospitals. The weather is hot and sometimes warm. Okay, and the same way you can try describing your hometown, describing a place you have visited, right? So these are the nice ways in which you can start a conversation. You can develop a conversation with people when you introduce yourself. And not only this, but as I told you, when you describe people, okay, you can describe them by their appearance. As I told you, you can describe them by your appearance. You can say if they have a a lighter complexion, you can describe them as they are fair. Okay, you can say that they are beautiful. If they are good looking, you can say that they are beautiful. And if a person is handsome, okay, you can call them handsome. Now you should know the difference when you should use beautiful and when you should use handsome. Handsome usually is for gentlemen, okay, handsome is usually for boys, for males, and beautiful is for female. When you say that this girl is handsome, you cannot say this girl is handsome or that boy is beautiful. That is a wrong collocation, that is a wrong combination, okay. So you don't say that. You don't usually say that. You should say that a girl is beautiful, a lady is beautiful, a woman is beautiful, a man is handsome, the boy is handsome, right? And sometimes the salary which you earn is also called as a handsome salary if you get a very good remuneration. Then, if when you see someone, you feel that they are healthy, so there you can describe, you can use the word healthy to describe them. Sometimes you find a person, you nowadays you cannot do it, okay? We cannot body shame anyone. You understand, I hope you understand what is the meaning of body shaming, okay. When you say body shaming, you cannot ridicule, you cannot make fun of someone for their appearance, their body, but of course you can describe them so that people will get an idea, people will be able to get an imagination. Overweight, okay, they are obese, which you can say, which means that they have a lot of flab on their body. You can call them slim. If someone is very fit, you can call them slim. If someone who doesn't have hair on their head, you can call them bald. Okay, you can call them bald, right? So that is how you describe, and these descriptions are not to make fun of others, but for you to describe about people and to make them have an idea, develop an imagination of what you are describing. So this is with describing people, and there are still some more. See, you can even describe a person by their height. Now, if I want to describe about my HOD, someone asks me, "Who is your HOD? Who is your HOD? I've never seen her. Can you tell about your HOD? How does she look?" Then I can say my HOD is tall. She is fair. She has a long curly hair. Oh, then when I tell all these things, what happens? The person who is listening to it registers and is able to develop an abstract image of my HOD, or else the person is able to identify the person who has these features. So I can say someone is tall, short, or of average height. So these are ways in which we can describe a person. Okay, we can even describe by telling them the color of our hair. Okay, we can say that the hair is black, we can say that the hair is brown, we can say the hair is gray. You know what? You cannot say white hair. வெள்ளை முடி வந்திருந்துச்சுன்னா, வயசானவங்களுக்கு வெள்ளை முடி வந்திருந்துச்சுன்னா அதை ஒயிட் ஹேர்ன்னு சொல்லக்கூடாது. அப்புறமா we also use hairs என்று சொல்லுவோம். hairs அன்னிட்டு plural formல சொல்லக்கூடாது. hair தான் சொல்லணும். சரியா? We should say gray hair instead of white hair. We should say gray hair. We can say that the hair is long, we can say that the hair is short, we can say the hair is straight, she has a curly hair, he has a wavy hair, her hair is very shiny, lustrous. So all these are descriptions of appearance. And why do we describe people with their appearance? It is not to remember, it is not to ridicule, that is, it is not to make fun, but to give the listener an idea of whom we are describing. Okay, and we can also describe people with their color of their eyes. Okay, you can say that the eyes are blue, their eyes are gray, brown. Okay, and you can say that their eyes are big, bright eyes, they have expressive and sharp eyes. So there are so many descriptions when you have to describe about eyes as well. Okay, and of course you can describe people with their age. Okay, she is a small girl, he is a young boy. Okay, he is a teenager. வயசானவங்களை என்ன சொல்லணும்? Elderly சொல்லணும். Old man, old women சொல்லக்கூடாது. Okay, you should not call someone old man or old woman, you should call them elderly. Okay, that's the right way to say elderly solemn, or else she is a senior citizen or he is a senior citizen. If they have crossed 60 years, then they are elderly people. So you should call them elderly or senior citizen. If they are of middle age, 50s, okay, 40s, late 40s, then you call them middle aged. Okay, so all these things are descriptions of ages. You cannot use the colloquial way of describing. He's a tiny boy. He's a small boy. He's a short boy. No, not that. Not to ridicule, but to have but to give an idea to the listener, right? Then, uh, so as you say, as we describe, we can describe the person's intelligence and intellect also. We can call how their mind is, how their mind works. Okay, we can call a person intelligent, wise, clever, smart, sharp, bright, and they are quick. They're very quick in thinking. That also you can say. Intelligent people who are very brainy. Okay, wise people ரொம்ப பொறுமையா கரெக்டா டிசைட் பண்றதுல wise. Clever people who are very clever and clever ஆனா என்ன சொல்றது, you are very good at taking decisions, smart at taking decisions. Okay, sometimes clever also means in a negative way when you say that you are, so when you take decisions for your own self. Okay, you see the benefit of yourself, so that is also clever. You are smart, you are good at doing things, good at learning things, then you call yourself smart or other smart. You are sharp, you are quick at grasping things, your mind is quick at grasping things, so then you call yourself sharp. Okay, you are bright, you can understand, you can immediately understand what people say. Okay, so that is bright. And you can think quickly, that is quick. Broad minded, you don't judge people very much. இவங்க அப்படிதான், அவங்க இப்படிதான், you don't judge them, so you say that they are broad minded. Narrow minded, you don't have a broader vision. When you don't have a broader vision, when you narrow down your thinking, then it is narrow minded. Absent minded, you are forgetful, you forget things. Okay, that is absent minded. Foolish, okay, you are not very clever, you are not very smart, then you are foolish. You are silly, you become worried, you become annoyed about small things, then you are silly. You are stupid, you cannot think smart, that you say. But these are foolish, silly, stupid maybe when we have to check our friends. Okay, when they don't mind us, you can use these words: foolish, stupid, narrow minded, all these things. You can use these vocabulary to people who are very close to you, not to everyone, who don't mind you using such vocabulary. So that is one thing. Now, I have described my friend in a line. My friend Shri is good looking. She has black curly hair and black eyes. She is intelligent and broad minded. So you try, when you go home, when you finish the class, to try describing your mother. What is your mother like? Okay, have you heard this question? What is your mother like? Immediately when we listen to this question, what we think is, we think that uh, we have to tell about the likes and dislikes of our mother. No, not that. We'll come to the likes and dislikes later. We have to tell what is the character and the appearance of our mother. Okay, we have to describe our mother. What is your mother like? What is your father like? What is your friend like? What is your house like? What is your hometown like? For all these questions, you have to describe. You have to describe about your mother, your hometown, your father, or your friend. Okay, it is similar to the question: describe your father or your mother. Okay, what does your mother like? What does your father like? What does your friend like? Only to this question you should tell about the likes and dislikes of your friend and other people. Okay, did you all get it? I hope you understood it. Okay, so after with this we are completing describing people, but describing people, places, and things. But when we introduce ourselves, we don't just describe people, place which we come from, or else the thing which we have, right? We also describe. We can also describe. We can also speak about likes and dislikes. We can also speak about likes and dislikes. When we have to speak about ourselves, when in an interview, when they ask us to say more about ourselves, speak more about ourselves, okay, we can say, tell about our likes and dislikes. Okay. And there are so many words, okay, which which will help us to tell about our likes and dislikes, such as love, hate, detest, adore. Okay, when you like something very much, you say, I love. Okay, I adore. I adore watching cartoon movies. I adore this person. I adore my mother. I adore my friend. That is when you like someone. I love chocolates. I love ice cream. She loves listening to music. So that is when you like something very much. Okay, you have a penchant, you have a strong liking for something, and you hate something, you dislike something, you strongly dislike something, you strongly don't like something. At that time, you use the word hate, you use the word detest, you use the word dislike. Okay, so let's see how we can use it in our sentences. Now, speaking about likes. Okay, there are examples over here. I like listening to songs. I don't like watching serials. So I have spoken about a like and I have spoken about a dislike. Okay, so when I speak about a like, I say I like listening to songs. And if you want to say that you don't like doing something, I don't like watching serials. You can say that, right? Speak about your likes. Now these are a starter. These are starters. I'll just give you 2 minutes. Just go through it, and you can make your sentences of your own. So you start using all these pronouns. I like, they like, we like, you like. Okay, these are all the expressions in the beginning are to tell your likes. The expressions on the other side of the column, on the lighter side of the column, are to tell your dislikes. Okay, you have new words: adore, enjoy, all these things. Now see, adore and enjoy are used in two different ways over here. Now see, when it is used with I, they, we and you, it is just adore. Adore. It is just adore. We only use adore. But when it is used with the pronoun he, she, it is a verb plus s. We should remember this rule. This rule is known as the third person singular. Okay, the verb, when the third person is a singular, the verb takes an S. The verb takes a plural form. This is a very, very common mistake which we make while we speak and while we write. This shouldn't happen, right? Now, see, what I mean by third person singular is I am speaking to you. I am speaking to you. So I'm the first person, you're the second person, and we both are speaking about someone else. And if that someone else is a singular person, then when we describe them, we use a verb plus s. Let me repeat it. The verb takes a plural form. The verb takes an S with it when a first person and a second person are speaking about a third person who is one, singular. Okay? If it is more than one, then the verb will not take an S. Now see, that is why we say he enjoys watching movies. She enjoys reading books. It enjoys eating bones. Okay. He likes playing the guitar. She likes dancing. Okay. So we both are telling about he, she, or it. That is the third person. And this he, she, or it can be also replaced. These pronouns can be also replaced by names. Okay. Rini likes to sing. Catherine likes to dance. Vignesh, Vignesh likes to listen to music. Okay. So this is how we use the verb plus s. Not only in this occasion, not only when we tell the likes and dislikes, but it is also when we tell about their activities, their actions. When the third person is doing something, a regular activity, then we use the S form. The verb takes an S form. We will see it in the next PowerPoint, in the next presentation. Now, these are expressions of dislike. The other column, the lighter column, has the expression of the dislikes. Okay, it detests. She detests. She detests people who are speaking loud. She detests people who tell lies. Okay, so you don't like, you are against something, that is detest. Okay, hates is an extreme emotion of telling that you cannot stand, you cannot tolerate. I cannot tolerate gossip. I hate gossips. I hate people who speak swearing words. You know what is swearing words? Foul language, that is swearing words. Okay, abusive language, unparliamentary language, abusive words. That is hate. That is hate. You when you totally don't like something, a strong dislike. That is hate, right? So here you have pictures. Now look at these pictures, and you can make sentences. When it comes to reading, I can say she likes reading. He loves chatting. I detest gossiping. I hate waiting. They love eating. Okay. So with these pictures, we can make sentences. Right? Now, see, there are some more pictures. You can try it out. Just try it out with these pictures. Sleeping. I love sleeping. You can say, I enjoy singing. He enjoys singing. The parrot enjoys singing. It enjoys. So instead of parrot, we can use the pronoun it. It enjoys singing. Okay. I adore gardening. I just love gardening. I'm so happy doing gardening. So I say I adore gardening. He adores gardening. It adores gardening. It adores. I cannot, it adores gardening. I cannot feel it that way. Okay, a non-human cannot adore gardening. Okay, then washing. I like, I like washing my clothes clean. Yes, he likes washing. So I don't like washing. You can also say I detest washing my clothes on a holiday. I would like to spend time sleeping. I would like to spend time recreating. So all these things you can say. When you have to tell about yourself, when people ask to tell more about yourself, you can describe yourself, you can tell yourself, you can tell about the hometown, you can tell about the weather in your hometown. All these things you will find more. As I told you yesterday, if you remember, you can speak about things. You can, when they ask you to speak more about yourself, okay, you shouldn't end up speaking about your siblings or your parent or your relative and what do they do. You should not enter into that topic. So to speak more about yourself, you can speak on these topics, right? Okay. So here you can tell about people, you can tell about, with these pictures, you can tell about what you don't like. I don't like shouting. I dislike people shouting at me. Okay. I cannot stand smoking. I detest smoking. I hate smoking. A man can say, usually men will say they are bored of cooking. Okay, some nowadays I find many are interested in cooking as well. They take it as a profession. So you can say that I I you are not interested. I dislike cooking. Okay, I detest violence. I detest antisocial activities. Right? Violence is not just being violent in the society by burning things or doing something which is not accepted in the society. Not like that. Not acting as a mob, as a big crowd, and going and disturbing people around. Not only that, even if you are harming someone in your classroom by hitting them or else by speaking words which they are not able to tolerate, then you are violent with them. That is why ragging is banned everywhere. Ragging is banned in the college because it is a sort of verbal violence which we are inducing to someone. Okay, and we are inducing pain to someone. So being that way is also being violent. Okay, now these are starters where you can make use of your own sentences. See, reading, chatting, gossiping, waiting, eating. You can use these words to tell about your likes and dislikes. Right now, after likes and dislikes, let us move on to an elaborate topic about telling about yours and others' regular activities. Now, so children, whenever we have to tell about our regular activities, what do you mean by regular activity? What do you understand by regular activity? A regular activity is something which is done on a regular basis. Okay? It is done on a regular basis, which means that you don't do it. It is not necessary that you do it every day. Even an everyday activity is called as a regular activity. Even if you do it once in a week, twice in a week, twice in a month, but if you regularly do it, then it is called as a regular activity. Did you understand? Okay, I hope you understood it. And when we speak about our regular activities, there are a lot of mistakes which is found in the spoken form. Whenever we tell about our regular activity, we often tend to tell our regular activity in the continuous tense. I am reading newspaper every day. I am chatting with my friends every day. She is listening to music every day. So this is a very wrong way of telling your regular activity. And there is another common error which we also make. There is another common error which we make by using the phrase used to. We generally make use of the phrase used to. This phrase used to is used to tell about your activities of the past, your habitual activities of the past. You cannot say, I used to read newspaper when reading newspaper is your regular activity. You cannot tell that. Maybe you can say, I used to wear a uniform when I go to school, which means that was your habitual activity of the past, which you're not doing now. I used to wear uniform. I used to wear two flats. I used to write with a pencil. All these things were regular habitual activities of the past. And so you use the phrase used to. Remember that. You cannot generally use used to in your conversation. And if you mean it, a native speaker or else a person who speaks good English will Understand it in this way, that you are speaking about your past habitual activity. So this is a common error which we make, right? So we should avoid. How should we avoid errors? How should we consciously avoid errors? We should remember all the things which have been told to us. We should have it in our mind, and we should remember it. And while in the beginning, while we speak, we should consciously speak. We should be we should be very consciously speaking. And as we develop this conscious speaking, day by day, it will become a routine for us. It will be there in our system for us, and one day or the other day it becomes an involuntary action of speaking correctly according to the situation. But initially we have to make an effort of speaking consciously the correct way. Yes, did you all understand? I hope you have understood it. Since I'm not able to interact with you all, I should only presume that you have understood it. But if you find me anywhere in the college and if you have any doubt, okay, you can very well come to me and ask me, and I will clarify it for you. So, when we tell about our regular activities, okay, regular activities are activities which are done frequently, or regular activities are done on a regular basis. They are done on a regular basis. Now, for example, some regular activity which is our day, which we do it every day. You brush your teeth, you have a bath, you have your meals. Now see, there is a difference between saying I have my meals, I have my food. You don't say I eat my meals. You cannot say I eat my meal. It is an informal way of saying eating. When you say I'm eating a cake, instead you can say, the better way to say is I'm having a cake, I'm having an ice cream, I'm having my breakfast. Okay, that's a better way to say. Don't say that I'm eating. Okay, the dog is eating, the monkey is eating. Okay, when you eat your food, when you have your food, so the better way to say is to have. Okay, you use the verb have over there. So having your breakfast, having your lunch, having your dinner is a day-to-day activity, and all these come under a regular activity. I go to college, I watch TV. So all these activities you do it every day. I chat with my friends, I speak with my friends, I watch reels in FB, I watch reels in Instagram. Okay, I often tweet in Twitter. So all these things may be your regular activity. And when you tell about your regular activity, remember that you have to use the base form of verbs. Okay, you should only use the base form of words. You should use brush, you should use go, you should use watch. You should not use I am brushing my teeth every day. No, I brush my teeth. When you tell your regular activity, you have to just use the ordinary verb. You cannot use the ing, ed, the will or shall verb. Okay, please keep this in mind. You only have to use the ordinary verb. So you say, I brush my teeth, I go to college, I watch TV, I chat with my friends, I watch reels in Instagram and Facebook, I listen to lectures, I write my assignments, I am attentive in the class. All these things you should tell using the base form of word. Never ever repeat the mistake of telling your regular activity using the ing verb, ed verb, or the will or shall verb. Okay, is that right? See, no ed, no ing, no en. When do you use the en form of verb? Broken, forgotten, taken. That verb also should not be used to tell your regular activity. You will not use will or shall verb also. I will read newspaper. I will listen to music. I shall speak with my friends. No, not that way. I speak with my friends. I attend classes. They listen to music. We play together. You see how the verbs are used. What are verbs? Verbs are action words. The words which tell about the action are called as verbs, right? Yes. So here is a small exercise for you. Okay, you can try it on your own. I'll just give you some time. Have a look at the slide and try doing it on your own. You can even write it down, or else you can tell it to yourself. I'll just wait for 1 minute and then let me tell my ideas of these answers. Just observe what is there in the slide. Okay. I can say that I conduct classes. So that's my regular activity. You attend college every day. We we play together. We have food together. We have fun together. They travel together. So these are ways to complete these sentences to tell about your regular activity. Okay, now see. Now I've told you that the verb takes an S. I told you when we speak about the likes and dislikes. Do you all remember? So here's an example. He drives the car. So this person is a. We both are speaking about this person. He. Okay, this person. So he drive plus S drives the car. Okay, he is a singular person. I am the first person, you are the second person, and we both are speaking about this third person, and that is why we are telling his activity by adding an s. We are telling his action by adding an s to it. Please don't forget this. This is where a lot of students, many people commit a mistake of using this verb agreement. Okay, we should always remember this. Then she writes letters. Okay, she writes letters. I use write plus s because we both are first person and the second person speaking about the third person's activity, and that is letters, writes. And see, it drinks milk. It drinks milk. The cat drinks milk. Now, it is a pronoun which is used for a non-human. It is a pronoun which is used for a non-human. Okay, so that's why I say it drinks milk. Now, try to complete these sentences watching these pictures. I just give you 1 minute. You try to do it on your own. So this is a person who is singing. Here is Mr. Kamal Hassan dancing. Here is a dog which is barking. So try to use these pronouns and complete it. I'll just wait for you for a minute and then let me tell the answers to you the way I have completed it. Okay? Take these pictures as clues and complete your answers. Okay. So he dances. I mean, Mr. Kamal Hassan, he's there dancing over there. Okay, he's striking a pose over there. So he dances. It's a dance pose. So he dances. And this is Madam Madonna. She is Madonna. Okay, she's a very famous pop singer. Okay, so I say she sings. That's a regular activity. So she sings. And here we have a pet. And this pet is a dog, and how does it communicate? It barks. So I say it barks, right? So this is how you have to tell about people's regular activities, right? Now, again, I have some exercise for you. I wanted to make it interactive, so I had prepared those exercises as well. So here's the fill in the blank. Now you have the verbs below, and you can choose the right verb to fill in the blank. So I would say that in the first blank, I dash in a bank. So I work in a bank. It is I. So I work in a bank, which means it is my regular activity. That is why I say I work in a bank. I study in a college. You should stay. Okay? I study in a college. I work in a college, I would say. She dashed with her friends. She lives. So the verb should take the verb plus S. This form is the right form. She lives with her friends. That's the right form. Okay. Okay. Now see, now what would you use? Cows dash milk. Now I'm first person, you're the second person. We are speaking about cows. Is cows, 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 a singular or a plural form? Is it one or more than one? It is of course more than one. So if it is more than one, then you needn't care about adding a S to the verb. You can just say cows give milk. Okay. If it is a cow, only a single cow, then you say cow gives milk. But if it is many, I mean more than one, then it is cows give milk. Okay. He dash money. So he is a third person singular. So we should use the verb earns. He earns money. The second option is the right option. Okay. Next, James dash to be a doctor. James. Now James a plural noun? James is just a verb. Okay. So James wants to be a doctor. Okay. So James is a singular person and he's a third person singular. So we use wants. Mother cooks food. Mother is a singular person and that is her regular activity. And so we say mother cooks food. Right? My aunt and her husband. Okay? My aunt and her husband. So both we are speaking about two people. So what's that? My aunt and her husband live in Singapore. Okay? Rohan and Prashant play guitar. Rohan and Prashant play guitar. Tell about yours. So this is another one. We learn English. Raju goes for a walk. Okay. So see the answers. Yes. So here are some picture. Now you can relate this picture to the action. And hereafter, if you are not very good at speaking English, if you think that you are just a beginner in speaking English, the best way to start speaking in English is when you do certain activity, try to tell that activity in the form of a sentence in your mind. So as soon as you wake up, you tell, I wake up. I wake up at 6 o'clock. Okay. Then you can say, I have my breakfast at 7 o'clock. You try telling all these things. You try speaking to yourself, right? You can imagine what your friend would be doing. He has his breakfast. He has. She has. When it comes to you, I have. They have, we have, you have. But when it comes to others, it is has and have. You will see in the next slide. Okay, so you can always tell about your action. So here I am telling about a person's routine. This is Mr. Barack Obama, the former president of USA, right? And this was his routine. He works out, he reads newspapers, he has breakfast, he begins work, he works till evening, he spends time with his family. So the same way, with the same sequence, you can tell about your regular activity. You can tell about your friend's regular activity. You can tell about your mother's regular activity if you try imitating these sentences. Yes, it will be helpful for you. All these all these YouTube links are there in the uh, uh, college YouTube channel. You can very well go. These are just slides which I am presenting it to you, but there you have it as a movie. You have it as a small e-content, SLO. You call it as an SLO, a short learning objective. You can learn, you can look at it and learn from it at any time, right? And you can practice it also. So that is one way. There you will find me explaining to you what is the slide about. You just won't see the slide alone, but you will find me explaining the slide, what it is and how you should start speaking, how you should pronounce things, what are the mistakes which we make. Whatever I'm telling you here is also told over there. You can find it there as well, right? Now, um, now as we have spoken about these things, when we have spoken about likes, dislikes, we have even spoken about descriptions. There is one more thing which I would like to teach you all. Okay, and that is nothing else but mm, giving instructions. Now, what are instructions? When do we give instructions? When do we give instructions? When do we give instructions? When do we direct people? Usually, when someone doesn't know to do something, at that time we give instructions, right? At that time, we instruct people on how to get to do things. When people don't know the way, we direct them. Now, have you ever imagined? Okay, have you not imagined? Have you ever experienced Have you ever experienced a situation where you don't know how to use a device? You just think about what to say the cell phone which you have newly bought, right? Think about a cell phone which you have bought newly. You have bought a cell phone and you don't know how to use it. You don't know how to take a screenshot. You don't know how to insert your SIM card or your SD slot. You don't know where is the SD slot. Okay? When you have to tell, when you have to know about all those things, how will you know it? How will you know it? How will you know it? You look at the user manual. What is the user manual? It is the catalog. Okay, and in the catalog, you will find a set of instructions. You will find a set of instructions, right? You will find a set of instructions. And how do the instructions start? It just starts with the verb. Didn't you all notice? It just starts with the verb. Do this, do that, open this. At the back of this, you find this. Okay, insert the USB slot there. All these things you will find. And those sentences, they don't start with a pronoun. They don't start, you do this, she does that, she has to do this, I have to do this. No, it doesn't start with a pronoun like that way, right? We don't start with a pronoun. So when we have to instruct and direct people, the sentence directly starts with a verb. Open the back cover, insert the battery, close the back cover, charge your cell phone, charge your cell phone for 24 hours. So these are the instructions. Now, if you observe the sentences which I have spoken, you will realize that all the sentences start with the verb. And how are the verbs used in these sentences? You again don't use a will or shall verb. You don't use the ing verb. You don't use the ed verb. Okay? It just simply uses the ordinary verb. Right? So that is how you give instructions. Right? Now, instructions, say that you are alone in the house and your mother and father have gone somewhere for a urgent for to attend something urgently, and you don't know how to cook. Maybe your mother on phone, she is teaching you to make noodles. Okay, that's your favorite dish, you all want to make noodles, right? So she gives you instructions on how to make noodles, right? How does she say? You go and get the pan, you go and buy noodles. Does she say that? Take a pan, light the stove, put the pan on that stove, pour some water, open the packet, take the noodles out of the packet, break the noodles, put it in the boiling water, add the masala packet, stir it, allow it to boil, sim the stove, let it get cooked, feel and see if the noodles has become soft. And then when it has become thick, when it has come to a consistency of eating, take it out, remove it from the stove, transfer it to a plate, and then allow it to cool for some time, and then you have it. You observe the sentences. These are instructions. How to make coffee, how to make an instant coffee. Boil the milk, add coffee powder, add some sugar, stir it, pour it in a cup, and then allow it to cool and have it. If you want to have it hot, you have it hot, or else you allow it to cool down and then you have it. So all these things, telling someone to do something, a recipe, okay, a recipe book also has instructions. So when you tell someone instructions, you remember that you use the ordinary form of verb, right? And you start instructions with the verb itself. You don't use the pronoun or the name in front of the sentences, right? I hope you understand. Now, when you have to tell about directions, when you have to tell about directions are also like instructions. Okay, here in case of directions, you will tell them the way. Now, if I'm standing at principal's office, you all like to go to the Bojan canteen. Always you want to hang around that canteen, right? So I am new to the college. I am standing at principal's office and I don't know the way to go to the canteen. I want to go to Bojan canteen where I get a variety of food. Okay, so I'm asking someone, how should I go to the canteen? So how will you tell instructions to that person? How will you tell the directions to that person? Come out of the office, go to the stairs, the short stairs, a few fleets of stairs, get down, turn left, walk straight, and you will reach a road inside the college. Again, you turn left, walk straight, then you will have a right turn, take right and walk straight, and on the left hand side you will find the canteen. I think this giving directions you would have said, you would have studied in your 12th, 10th and 12th itself. State board students study this in your 10th and 12th itself. So this is how you apply it in your day-to-day life while you have to tell instructions. Okay, so this is how you tell instructions, right? Tell directions. So it is very easy. Only thing which you have to remember is few sentence structures which will help you all speak properly. Now, coming to possessions, when we speak about possessions, now what are possessions? Just think, what are possessions? Possess. What is that? What does the word possess mean? What does the word possess mean? Possess means is to have something, to own something. Something belongs to you. That is what is called as possessions. Okay, that is what is called as possessions. Now see, when we speak about possession, we use has or have. When do we use has? When do we use have? Let's see. Okay, and possessions are, as you see in this picture, possessions are things which you own. And now in this picture, you see only materialistic possessions. I will tell you what are the other possessions also. Okay, so you can say, I have a smartphone. Okay, I have a smartphone. She has, when it is she, he, or it, we use the verb has to tell about the possession. She has an iPad. We have legs. So, as I told you, you remember in the first slide, I told you that possessions are just not material possessions, it is also your physical attributes. Your long hair, your short hair, your colored eyes, your brown eyes, your blue eyes, your black eyes. Okay, all these are also your possession. It belongs to you, so it is your possession. So we say we have legs. Now see, it has a tail. It has a tail. So that is up. Now it is used, as you should recollect, it is used for non-human. It is a pronoun which is used for non-human. Okay. Then they have, when you use the pronoun they, you should use they have a big car. He has no time to speak. He doesn't have time to speak. He is very busy. Okay. You have brown eyes. When you use you should have the verb have and say you have brown eyes. Now, why I'm teaching possessions over here along with regular activities with likes, dislikes, and descriptions, it is because all these places you just use the verb without using a ing, ed, or will or shall. You shouldn't say, I am having two eyes. No, you shouldn't say that. It is having a tail. No, not that. It has a tail. No, it is. We usually say it has a tail. Okay, some people tend to say it in this wrong way. It is having a tail. No, that's not the way. It has a tail, and you cannot use the ing form of verb over here. Even in instructions, directions, while you tell the possessions, while you tell about your regular activities, while you tell about your likes and dislikes, all these situations, you cannot use the ing, ed, will or shall verb at all. Yes, I hope you understood it clearly. And when you forget and use it, that is the time you make mistakes. Okay, we use has and we use have with you, they, and we and I. Okay, see. We use has with she, he, and it. So, here is a small exercise. I have given you all the answer also. Tom, we both are speaking about a third person. So, Tom has a football. You shouldn't say Tom have a football. Tom has a football. Okay. So, you have a storybook. You have. Have will combine with you. You, they, we, I combines with have. She, he, and it combines with has. They have money. Yes, we say they have money. Shivani has a paintbrush. We both are speaking about a third person. Shivani, she. Okay, so Shivani has a paintbrush. Right? We have a torch. Right? She has curly hair. So it is not just the material outer possessions, the materialistic possessions which you can say as possession, call as possessions. It is even your physical attributes you can call as possessions. We have a touch. She has curly hair. So the bird has feathers. The cheetah has sharp teeth, right? So I have a water bottle. You one has a robo, right? So with this we shall end today's session. But before we do that, let us recap on what we have learned. So we have learned about what have we learned? Can you recollect? What have we learned? Just recollect, try recollecting. Today we've learned about describing people and places and things. That is, when we introduce ourselves or else we introduce others, when we have to extend telling about ourselves and others, we have to say from the place which we come from. We have to describe what type of if we are introducing someone, we have to describe them if they are not present there. And how do we describe? We can describe them with their physical attributes in the beginning. How do they look? What type of hair they have? What type of hair, eyes they have? What is their complexion? Their height? Okay, so all these things, and then you can start describing about their character by saying they are good, tolerant, they are humorous people, they are short-tempered. All these things you can tell. Okay, and then if you have to describe about places, you can tell about how the place is, if, whether it's a city or a town, whether it is big or small, whether it is overpopulated, whether you can say it is densely populated or scarcely populated. All these things you can tell tell them, right? And to describe the weather, you can say whether it is a rainy day, it is a cloudy day, whether it is a windy day, whether it is hot, whether it is cold. You can say so many things, all right? And whenever you would like to start a conversation with a stranger, It is always better to introduce and start describing about the weather, which is a very general, common thing which you can start speaking about. It is something general rather than speaking about politics, rather than speaking about your favorite actors, or else rather than accusing some people and speaking. Instead of doing that, you can very well start a friendly conversation by describing the weather. Okay, and then next, when you have to tell about yourself, you can start telling about your regular activities. You can start telling about your regular activities. And when you tell about the regular activities, remember that you have to tell the regular activity with the base form of verb. You should not use the ing, ed, will, or shall verb. And if you are telling about a third person's regular activity or likes or dislikes, you have to tell the verb with an addition of s to it. You have to make the verb plural. Yes? Did you all understand that? I hope you all understood it clearly. Then, instructions and directions. Sometimes strangers approach you, strangers get introduced to you, and they would like for some instructions or directions when they don't know to do something. They would like to take instructions from you. When they don't know to go somewhere, they would like to take directions from you. So you can tell them instructions and directions. And when you tell instructions and directions, remember that time also the sentences start with a verb, and it starts with a simple plain verb. It doesn't have a ing, it doesn't have a ed, it doesn't have a will or shall attached to it, right? And when you give instructions and directions, always remember that the sentence starts with a verb but not with a pronoun. You should avoid using you, she, he, it, they, we, all these things when you start giving instructions and directions. Yes? Okay. So, possessions. Use the has and have correctly when you tell about the possessions, right? You will be asked when you are in an interview, you will be asked, how do you use your computer? How do you, if something is new to them, you are speaking something new to them, you are telling about something which is new to them, at that time when they ask you how do you use it, then you should be able to give instructions, right? And you should be able to give directions about how you reach home from a particular place, how well you are acquainted to a city. Find out that they would ask you questions. So all these things you should remember and you should include in your day-to-day conversation. As I told you, you have to, if you are a beginner, you are in the beginning stage of speaking a language. When you are in the beginning stage of speaking a language, the best way is to speak these sentences while you are doing an activity. Okay, when you are doing an activity, when you are doing something, try to tell those sentences. If it is a regular activity, tell it in the in the simple present form, that is using the ordinary verb. Tell it in that way. Okay, if you are temporarily doing that activity, then use the ing form only. Remember always, the ing form is always used to tell a temporary activity, an activity which is going on at that moment. Okay, so the momental activity is told with the ing form verb. Always remember this. And one more important thing, try, uh, not try, deliberately avoid using the phrase used to. Okay, because used to is used only to tell the activities of your past, your regular activity, your habitual activities of the past. If you want to tell your own regular activities, then you don't use the phrase used to. Is that clear? I hope you have understood, right? And when you tell about your regular activities, there are other adverbs also. You can use the adverbs frequent, often, occasionally, rarely, usually, all these things. Usually, I come on a train. Today, I came in a cab. I came in an auto. Okay. So when you want to show the difference about how you usually travel and what difference you have made. Usually, I have idlis in the morning, but today I had juice, right? So that is usually. Often, repeatedly. I often drink water. That's your regular activity. It is your regular activity. So you can say, I often drink water. Okay. I rarely, I rarely go out for movies. I don't go at all. It is very rare. Okay. If you say, I seldom go out, it is almost not going. I seldom. Okay. I seldom go out for movies. I hardly go out for movies. You mean that you don't do it at all. Okay. I um I regularly I regularly check my phone during the break. So that is one way to use. Okay, rarely, often, usually, occasionally. Occasionally, we wear traditional dresses. Okay, so for a particular occasion, you do it for a particular occasion, and then you say occasionally we wear a particular dress. Is that right? Yes. So, shall we, keeping all these things in your mind, will you remember today's lesson and will you speak properly, consciously, avoiding your common mistakes and try so that you become a fluent speaker of English? Okay, no one finds fault. Try see to that no one finds fault in your basic communication of English. When most of the times we are basically communicating. Okay, it is not that we are giving lectures, we are giving discourses, not like that way. It is usually a basic communication which we do with one another, with people around us. So we should be strong in that basic communication. So to be strong in basic communication, we should deliberately, consciously avoid making the mistakes which we have done earlier. And we should learn the new sentences and their structure and apply them in our speech regularly. Yes, did you all understand? I hope this session was beneficial to you, and I hope you were able to watch the slides, understand what was there on the slides. Yes? Okay. So with this, we shall call it a day. We shall go for the next session tomorrow. Thank you, children. Thank you, coordinator, for coordinating this course. Thank you very much. I shall leave the meet now.